What's going on, you guys? I'm your host, Stacey Cole Morgan, and you're listening to the MorganMan Sports Podcast here on specifically YouTube. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to get my Falcons versus Carolina Panthers Thursday night football reaction, preview, everything like that in before the game. The podcast has already been recorded talking about the Call of Duty League 2023 season with some very specific details. So that is for Friday's episode, ladies and gentlemen. But for today, here on the YouTube specifically, we are talking about the Carolina Panthers hosting the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday Night Football. So without any further delay, let's go straight to today's action. All right, guys. So coming in right here, the Atlanta Falcons actually opened up as 3.5 point underdogs on the road, but Vegas saw something in the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers and switched it around because now, November 8th, 2022, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Atlanta Falcons are actually favored now at a -3 with the public bet sitting at a 73%. So I guess maybe that changed from the Falcons Chargers game and the Panthers versus Bengals game because the Panthers struggled just deeply. And I think the final score was like 35-21, something like that. But going into the fourth quarter, I mean, it was like 35 to nothing. And maybe that's what determined Vegas to say, hey, look, we don't really trust the Carolina Panthers. We trust the Atlanta Falcons more to win their division matchup against the Panthers on Thursday Night Football. So again, the public bet is sitting at a 73% with the Falcons favored to win by a -3. So this is going to come down to a Young Koo field goal. Your money line for the Atlanta Falcons is currently sitting at a -160 at a public bet of 89%. For the Carolina Panthers, it's a plus 135, at 11%. Now, people are taking the under at 44 at a 62% of the public bet. Again, as always, I don't go over, individual stats. I go over team stats, total offense versus, total defense, etc., etc. So for your league rankings right here, ladies and gentlemen, this matchup, Falcons offense versus the Carolina Panthers defense. The Falcons offense is 25th in the NFL. The Panthers defense is 27th. So we do have a slight advantage over the Panthers since our last meeting 2 weeks ago in Atlanta. We are 30th in the pass, and the Panthers defense is 20th against the pass. So we're going to really have to rely on that run game. We cannot get away from it. And that's what Arthur Smith really needs to focus on. Whenever we're going to the passing game, Marcus Mariota is fine whenever it comes to those short to mid-tier throws. But whenever you start just airing the ball out, 20 plus yards for big gains, that's where Marcus Mariota messes up at. So if you can really focus on Marcus Mariota's strengths of that short to mid-tier throw while still establishing that run game, the Falcons can easily win this. Then it would just be up to the defense to really prevent the Panthers from scoring. Speaking of rushing, the Atlanta Falcons have now moved up to the fourth best run offense in the entire NFL, and the Panthers are 28th against the run. So especially with Cordell Patterson back, he can adjust himself to get past the line of scrimmage, get past that offensive line, defensive line, and gain you some big yardage from running the ball. Falcons defense versus the Panthers offense. This is going to be near about neck and neck right here. The Falcons defense is 31st in the NFL. And the Panthers offense is 30th in the NFL. That is overall stats. And guys, let me tell you, that's just going to be an interesting matchup right there to see if the Falcons defense just miraculously have a field day of intercepting the ball, getting deflected balls, whatever the case may be. For passing, we are dead last in the NFL, sitting at 32nd. The Panthers offense is 27th for passing the ball. For rushing, we got an elite defensive line sitting at 8th against the run, and the Panthers' offense for running the ball is 22nd in the NFL. So Grady Jarrett and that defensive line can, pretty much stop the run game, but our secondary is going to be attacked by this Panthers offense, and Dean Pease knows that. Well, at least I think he does because we got a soft defense. We really do. Like, there's no tight man coverage whatsoever. You go back to week one when we faced the Saints. Guys, we were up like 28, 30 points against the Saints. And that was because our defense had tight man coverage. We were like that close to defenders or receivers. We was deflecting the balls. We was having interceptions left and right. And then Dean Peach just got away from that in that fourth quarter all the way to now. Well, outside of the San Francisco 49ers game, well, we just totally blew them out of the water, just only allowing 2 touchdowns. But other than that, Dean Peace, just his defense is not there, ladies and gentlemen. And to me, I think after this season, we got to find a new defensive coordinator because this defensive system is just not it for the Atlanta Falcons. This offense, it's miraculous. We're scoring points. We're, driving the ball down the field more, and I like that. But this defense, it's just like every season, defense, defense, defense. So we got to fix it this coming off season. But for right now, we're still stuck with Dean Pease at the defensive coordinator position. But after this season, guys, I really hope Arthur Smith just swallows his pride and walks up to Dean Pease and say, "Look, man, I gotta let you go because we're not a top 10 defense outside of stopping the run game. But other than that, we're not it. We're not that team. We're not that top 10, top 5 defensive team that everybody is fearing. We're just not that team. So we're gonna have to let you go." But guys, I sure hope you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to like button here on YouTube. I am deeply, deeply, deeply appreciative of your guys' time. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, and if you did, again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to start trying to post more video content just like this right here, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I can outside of the regular podcast schedule, which is Fridays, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I do talk Falcons and Call of Duty League content. But until then, guys, we're going to look at you all later. Peace.